22nd, I'm Roe Reid, and this is what's making news now. It is day 2 of the Bongelli trial. Skedline reporter Anna Sadie is outside of the courthouse.
I'm back outside Old City Hall for the trial of Bongelli. Bongelli has pled not guilty to 4 counts of sexual assault. Currently, in the second day of the trial, it is still only the one witness who has taken the stand. This witness is covered under a publication ban, therefore we will not be able to release any information about her. The defense so far has concentrated on comparing and contrasting the testimony of this witness from her earlier statements given to police and in various media interviews with today's testimony, as well as that given in court yesterday. We will be following up to see more. This is Anna Sadie, skedline.com.
Thanks, Anas. Today marks day 2 of the Bosma trial. Prosecutors stated that Bosma was shot in his truck and was then set on fire. The court will hear testimonies from tenant Wayne D. Bauer, who lives below Tim and Charlene Bosma. Bill Cosby was in a Pennsylvania courtroom this morning for a preliminary hearing on charges of sexual assault. The case dates back to 2014 when Cosby was accused of sexual assault of Andrea Constant, a former women's basketball team manager at the Temple University in Philadelphia. Cosby's lawyers are looking to have the charges against him thrown out. His lawyers are stating that it violates the prosecutor's previous agreement to not charge him. Senator Ted Cruz won the Republican Iowa caucuses with 28% over his rival Donald Trump, who finished with 24%. Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton scraped to beat underdog Bernie Sanders with 49.9% to 49.6%. The caucuses is the first step in seeing who will be the next president of the United States. Now over to Emily Bongelli for Biz Tech.
Thanks, Ro. I'm Emily Bongelli, and here's what's going on in Biz Tech today. North Korea has notified the International Maritime Organization of plans to launch a satellite between February 8th and 25th, according to the United Nations. After activity at its test site was observed by satellite, U.S. officials have said that North Korea is believed to be making preparations for a test launch of a long-range rocket. North Korea conducted its 4th nuclear test on January 6th in defiance of UN sanctions. Western and Asian experts have said that the launch was part of an effort to build an intercontinental ballistic missile. Apple has been kicked to the curb as most valuable corporation by Google's parent company, Alphabet. Shares for Alphabet were up 5% at $810 in pre-market trading this morning, valuing the company at $550 billion, making it the world's most valuable company. Apple shares were down 1.2% at just over $95, giving the company a market capitalization of $528 billion. WhatsApp just announced they have gained a whopping 800 million users. The Facebook-owned company now outperforms the social network's own messaging app. The company has said that over 42 billion messages and 25 million videos are sent over WhatsApp daily. Acorn Canada wants lower internet prices for low-income Canadians. In 6 cities across the country, including Halifax, Toronto, and Calgary, members of Acorn are doing events to release their Internet for All report, which summarizes 400 testimonies from low-income Canadians about how affordable internet is vital. Acorn recommends that government and businesses develop a $10 per month high-speed internet product for families and individuals living below the low-income measure. That's it for BizTech News. Now back to Ro in the newsroom.
The World Health Organization is implementing a strategy to combat the outbreak of the Zika virus. This comes a day after declaring Zika a global emergency. This is an immediate need to find a vaccine to combat the virus, which is contracted by mosquitoes. The U.S. drug developing New Link Genetics Corporation is helping to find a treatment for the disease. It's International Development Week here at Humber. Reporter Caitlin Nukin has more on that story.
We're here at Humber Lakeshore at the launch of the annual International Development Week. This year's topic, water.
I'm very passionate about water.
International Development Week starts off with an art exhibit at both Humber Lakeshore and Humber North. The exhibit features photographs from humanitarian trips to provide clean water to countries in need.
I think water is critical, and people don't understand that Water is basically life.
International Development Week will run from February 2nd until February 11th. For more information on International Development Week and how to get involved, visit idwhumber.com. I'm Caitlin Nukanen for skedline.com.
Thanks, Caitlin. Now over to Sadie Perfetto, who has sports headlines.
Thanks, Rowena. The Toronto Maple Leafs are back in action tonight after coming off the All-Star break. The Leafs are in Boston looking to defeat the Bruins for the first time this season. The team is also set to release a new logo, which will debut at 9:30 tonight on the Leaf Blueprint. The change comes just in time for their centennial season. The new logo is expected to be a nod to the '67 jersey, the last time the Leafs won the Stanley Cup. Good news for the Edmonton Oilers. Rookie sensation Connor McDavid is back in the lineup tonight after missing nearly half the season. The first overall draft pick suffered a broken clavicle back in November and missed 37 games. 19-year-old McDavid spent the last week rehabbing with the Bakersfield Condors of the AHL. The Oilers play host to the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight in Edmonton. Canadian wrestling legend Bret the Hitman Hart is about to start his toughest battle yet. Hart announced in an Instagram post on Monday that he will undergo surgery for prostate cancer. Hart says he's unafraid as he faces the toughest road ahead of him. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006. Super Bowl week is full of unexpected events, but a car accident is definitely a new one. The Denver Broncos team buses were involved in a minor collision yesterday in Santa Clara. The team was traveling to the Marriott Hotel from their practice at Stanford Stadium when 3 of the 5 buses collided into each other. Broncos players were tweeting out photos of the crash, and team spokesperson Patrick Smythe said no injuries were sustained. The Broncos will play the Carolina Panthers this Sunday in San Francisco for Super Bowl 50. The Toronto Raptors' franchise-best 11-game win streak was snapped last night in Denver. The Nuggets defeated the Raptors 112-93, their first loss since January 4th. The Raptors look to rebound tonight as they take on the Suns in Phoenix for a 9 p.m. tip-off. With the NBA All-Star Game in town next weekend, we've been seeing some strange construction near the CN Tower. What's that all about, Luke?
Thanks, Sadie. Turns out it's a top-secret music venue for All-Star Weekend. The organizers call it True North and will host private parties for celebrity artists like Snoop Dogg, Usher, and Gwen Stefani. The facility will be used from February 12th to the 14th. Canadian artists Lights, Bryan Adams, and Adventure Club have been nominated for Juno Awards. The big list of nominees released today was packed with Canadian talent like Leonard Cohen and Shawn Mendes. The weekend gathered 6 nominations, followed by 5 nominations each to Drake and Justin Bieber. This year's awards will take place in Calgary on April the 3rd. If the story of O.J. Simpson wasn't dramatic enough for you, you'll be pleased that it's been dramatized in a new TV series. The People vs. O.J. Simpson is a 10-episode saga that digs past the trial of Simpson to focus on racism, fame, and the role of the media. Key figures in the trial are played by a ton of celebrity actors, from John Travolta to Cuba Gooding Jr. The show debuts tonight at 10 p.m. on FX Canada. At 66 years old, Bruce Springsteen shows no signs of slowing down. He returns to Toronto as part of the River Tour. The Boss, as he's known, along with the E Street Band, will play at the Air Canada Centre on Tuesday. The tour is in support of his box set called The Ties That Bind that was released last year. And instead of hello, Adele is saying goodbye to Donald Trump's use of her songs. Adele's spokesperson says that she hasn't given permission for her music to be used in political campaigns. Trump has been using hits like Rolling in the Deep and Skyfall at his political rallies. Now, Neil Young and Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler have also insisted the Republican presidential frontrunner stop using their music. That's your entertainment news for today. Now back to you, Ro.
Thanks, Luke. Toronto Metropolitan Police Brent Ox faced sex crime charges in Nova Scotia. Ox, who is well known for his work in the LBGT community, is facing charges on alleged sexual assault dating back in the 1970s. 65-year-old Ox has been formally charged with indecency on a male. 29-year-old Quinn Taylor and 26-year-old David MS, were identified as the victims of the fatal shooting in Chinatown on Sunday. It has been reported that the two had gone to the area to watch a game when they were caught in a crossfire after a fight broke out. Toronto has seen an increase in gun violence resulting in death compared to last year. According to a recent poll conducted by Forum Research, the public trust in the Toronto police has dropped to 63% from the January 20th poll, which showed 78%. This comes in wake after the James Purcello murder trial. However, the poll shows that public trust in Chief Saunders remains the same. City Council member Norm Kelly proposes the opening of the observation deck to the public at City Hall. The deck is currently open only to city personnel. Kelly plans on introducing the motion during this week's City Council meeting. Those are your headlines for today. I am Roe Reid, and from all of us at Skedlive, thanks for watching.